Such an idiot.
Yeah, until Hydro Quebec says, guess what, Vermont?
yeah.
No power.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
like Ontario said, we're not going to supply power.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Wisconsin and Michigan, see how they like us now.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
And
I forget how much money in tariffs.
You were
are going
live, so
to
don't-
the
yeah.
US. It's not funny.
All yours.
Big bucks. I'm talking billions. Billions.
We could use that for Noah's paper clips.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
It's already live.
Okay.
Okay.
Genie.
Okay, we're gonna start the meeting. Call the meeting to order. Anyone to update the agenda? Nothing? No one? Okay. Public comment?
Just
Bruce?
curious, at the appropriate time, I would ask if there's a rough draft of the proposed changes to or amendments to the bylaws, zoning bylaws. Is there something like that available yet?
There is a work in progress, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'd be glad to send it to you if you want.
If you would be so kind, please. For my late
I-
night reading
I
pleasure.
know I have your email address, but just in case. Yes, your email address?
OLEVTCOASTIE@Comcast.net.
What was that? What does that stand for? I thought you were going Oreo for a minute, but.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, moving on to the town plan.
Yeah.
We had gotten an email
We,
from Joel, yeah.
we're waiting, we're not, well, I think maybe waiting isn't exactly the right word, but I've contacted NVDA. Usually we contract with them to send somebody up who's a planner, certified planner, and they're the ones that eventually have to approve the town plan anyway. But we do contract with them, but we get a grant to pay them for that contract. So I've contacted them and they haven't got back to me, but the grant application is due. Actually, I think it's January now.
good.
So we'll be working on that. But in the meantime, there's a lot of stuff that we can write ourselves. That's not a problem. We just have to make sure that all the elements are covered and we don't miss anything. But anyway, we're working on that part.
Okay. Thank you. Can I ask who the unknown guest is? They like, no? They don't, speaker's not on.
You're muted.
They're muted.
Okay,
Just list them as unknown guest.
yeah, I did put that, yeah. Okay, so are we gonna be talking anything more about the town plan? I know we got the email from you and I've got my book here. But go ahead.
You're welcome to talk about it. Certainly. I have nothing more to add at this point.
No, but you had made some corrections, right, on the town plan already? Some? No? Yes, no?
No.
Nothing.
We
done
haven't started on that yet.
I looked up some stuff today with the Census Bureau and stuff as far as the housing and the population and all that good stuff. I didn't do anything with it. It goes back to it's 2023. So
Are you
it's pretty-
talking about the Airbnb? Or what?
No,
what
no, no,
housing?
just all this
Oh,
stuff
that,
here. Yeah.
that we have now.
So
Oh,
I did that.
That's good. Keep it
Yeah.
in a file and, that'll,
We do have to go with that. We also have the
what they came up with from the lodging study that was done last year. We could incorporate some of that data because they actually had data on, Brighton lodging and tourism and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm doing the notes right now, but going back to the town plan, you were saying, Joel, that we're going to be applying for a grant to help with the town plan
Right,
moving forward.
right. We're gonna apply for a grant to pay a consultant,
Yeah,
whoever it might be, probably NVDA, to help us do the town plan because it's a pretty complicated and a very comprehensive document.
right. Okay, and under the town plan, is that where we talk about the Airbnbs possibly getting in that, or is that
Yes.
just? So is that kind of like you're gonna tell that person eventually about?
Well, if we
That's gonna go in the
contract
zoning.
with a person, we'll have to give them a somewhat specific list of duties and things they want to look into. For instance, we don't need them to write a lot of things. We just need them to help us make sure it's in compliance in the end, that we don't miss things, and they'll probably have to do the energy element by themselves. I don't think we have the capacity for that. So it'll have to be a tailored kind of grant application to pay for somebody to do those specific tasks. And if NVDA can't do it, which seems to be more and more likely, we'll go for another consultant. But in order to apply for the grant, I actually need a number. I need to have somebody send me, here's what it's going to cost to do what you want us to do, and give me a number. I can't just apply for a grant and say, make up a number. I have to have a number.
Did we have a grant
So-
last time?
We've gotten these
We
before.
did.
We did get one last time? Okay.
Yep, we did have somebody that helped us last time. I remember that was when I first joined well, no, actually, we were working on that when I joined the planning commission.
Yeah. Well, we've had NVDA, the same, actually Allison Lowe, who still does that now, years ago, probably even 2012, came up and worked with us. And so, yeah, they've done it before, but we understand that they won't necessarily say they are, but Allison has knocked that back to me, and she's the person that I would normally talk to about this. So I'm going to remind her again, and if not, I'm going to have to contact somebody else just to get an
Okay.
estimate.
All right, thank you. So the zoning administrator report?
I just had, well, there was 2 permits since the last one, but they went to the DRB. And one of them was for a business they just wanted to put a shed at the lumber yard. Like kind of like a check-in, check-out type.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Like pre-made, they had a shed made.
Oh, okay.
So and that went to the DRB, which a member of the DRB and I were talking about that, and his thought was the same, like, why did it have to go to the DRB? I'm like, well, because it's a business. So he was asking about, is there some way as the bylaws are being redone, in a case like that, why they met the setbacks, everything was fine. Why would it have to go through that whole process?
How
And
big is
that
the
is an
building?
excellent question. And in fact, that will be included in the zoning bylaw revisions is already. I don't know what the exact language should be to do that, but this has come up before, and it makes no sense to send stuff like that to the DRB. If 5 people schedule a public hearing for a shed like that, when if it's a no-brainer.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
don't know what the proper language is, but I know some other towns have language like that. So it's something that I've asked the attorney, essentially the attorney, to give us some kind of language that would allow the zoning administrator to approve certain things and among them, by the way, is home occupations, because that is not specifically stated who approves home occupations, and those are businesses. And I don't think I've always approved home occupations, but You know, it's like, I don't know if I was on shaky ground when I did that, but I couldn't see sending it to the DRB. It didn't make any sense. But I think we need to codify that, and I have included such a request in the bylaws.
And then the other permit that was sent to the DRB, and I don't know if they met about that, was for a potential food and beverage
read
and
that on-
something
On
on
114.
on
Yeah,
114.
105 and 114.
Yeah, right there on the corner. So
I think it's
that would be,
more of like meat and something to do with meat and
selling their meat, but also he said something about in the plan that was sent, and I forwarded all to the DRB, like pizza, like, and
that's great. I won't have to go far to get.
you can just walk down. And so I don't know. That's a whole DRB
Yeah.
thing, because that's
Yeah.
different
Where was-
conditions.
Where was this again? It's on Derby Street?
No,
No.
104 and 105.
Right on the corner of
Where?
105 and
Brown house.
114.
Oh,
Cozy corner. I used to-
That's an
So-
area that
Oh.
that's an area that we've always wanted to have no commercial activity, like a convenience store or gas station, because people would come up from 114 and they'd go, well, am I going to go to Island Pond, or am I going to go, oh, well, I can just get my gas here. I don't have to go into Island Pond. That's
Well, I don't
the
think he's putting
danger, is
gas
there-
in.
if there's commercial activity in that corner, people are not going to come into Island Pond. Anything that they can get there, they won't go and bother. So the
Yeah, but I
bylaws-
don't think
I
he's,
don't think
I don't
the
think-
bylaws allow commercial activity in that corner.
of course it is. It was commercial.
Mm, I don't,
There used to be a store there, a restaurant, years ago. Cozy
I don't know.
corner, right?
Yeah, I wasn't
Used to
here
sell
then.
ice cream and,
I don't know.
Delivery.
I think it's rural
Not- well,
residential,
Roland,
isn't
but-
it? It's in the yellow. Yeah, it's,
or there used to be ice
Neighborhood
cream.
residential,
What is it?
neighborhood residential.
isn't that, it has to be
Rivers,
RR.
Excuse me, rural.
when I was a kid, Rivers owned it.
So yeah, it would have
Yeah,
to,
before that,
what the conditional.
there
use
used to be a
for
rest,
rural
there used to be
residential
like an
is.
ice cream
But
shop.
the
Yeah,
DRB
Roland
makes that
Delivery had it.
decision.
Oh, Roland had that?
Yeah,
whose
What's-
property, who's the owner of the property?
Well, last I knew it was Cody Reeves, but supposedly somebody bought it, but I don't know.
Right here.
Yes,
Oh, that's the property that wants to do this?
Right, it's right
Oh.
on 105 and 114.
yeah.
Rural-
No, another, somebody else has bought it.
Rural
right,
residential is
Sin-
what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Ming's was.
Had a
commercial,
store,
had a
right.
Store, so that must have been zoned commercial.
Ming sold snowmobiles.
According to
Yeah,
that
but
map.
he was doing that before, I think zoning went into it.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
maybe.
you're right, Joel.
I mean,
Well,
that was,
I've
I can
sent
just
it
tell you
along.
that that's what the planning commissions all have
Did I write on yours?
thought about
Oh my
and
God.
realized that they don't want to have any activity there that will keep people from coming into Island Pond, because it's a natural spot for one. I mean, you know, why wouldn't you want to have commercial activity there? But if you do,
they ain't
the
got much
focus at
parking
Island
there.
Pond downtown commercial
There's
activity
quite a
would
bit of
suffer.
parking.
Have they?
Yeah.
Well, I sent it along because it's a business proposal, so.
I guess it would depend on what he's selling,
Maybe.
I mean,
Would it be a
If he's
home
just-
occupation?
I don't think so.
No, and it was
Those are
plus,
all the permits.
and having an apartment.
I mean, we stop somebody from doing the same thing on rural residential on, after, where Pleasant Street goes towards the stump dump, all the way up there. She wanted to put a store in and we
Yeah.
told her no.
Yeah, but that
Same
was
thing,
far-
same yellow,
yeah.
rural residential. Then,
Yeah, but
am I not
it's-
correct?
No, they were counting it as home, but it was not because
Yeah,
the
but
building was.
It was still a business. The building
I
was
know, but
separate
they
from the
wanted
house.
it a home occupation.
Yeah, that
which
was
it's
not.
not. Yeah.
Retail.
And she can't have
Retail-
retail on that road.
Right, I think that problem there was that retail is not allowed in that district. Now, it depends on just how broadly we've defined commercial and use in our zoning bylaw, and I don't have that right in front of me, but if it's, what district is it in?
Rural residential.
rural residential, the same color as what we're talking about, that woman.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Green.
Conditional use,
What's that?
Oh,
I
no.
didn't see it in the conditional use.
commercial service.
Which one?
I did, when I spoke with the gentleman, I did say it has to go to the DRB,
Yeah.
but I don't see where the conditional use would state, a restaurant type.
I don't think it's a restaurant at all.
He said he was gonna sell pizza and have seating
Oh.
and drinks.
Recreation and.
To me, I don't know what you
I think it's a
classify that.
great idea.
I mean,
saw
like
that
I said,
application. I remember seeing that when it was in town hall when I was there. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was a little bit of everything.
yeah, it was a hodgepodge, but like I said, it's not up to me, it's up to the DRB. Cause I can't grant you that,
No, you can't,
so,
not according to that map.
I don't know, I'm just saying, it's.
Let's put some funeral home.
People need pizza and drinks at the funeral, this is true.
Yeah. No,
So I don't know, but I'm just saying it went to them. And so we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Also, what else did I have to say? We're talking about
Freight container.
freight containers.
What are we gonna do about this, Joel?
Well, we're requiring a permit for them. Let me see, how do we leave that off with those guys?
They
They
said
don't-
that it's personal, the state of New Vermont considers it personal property.
Right,
Unless they change the use of it for making a workshop inside of it, putting a roof
Right.
on top, or start putting siding on it, making a tiny home. The state doesn't bother with those.
yeah, I mean, and yeah, I guess I understand that because when you look at those things, do they really add any value to the property? To me, they're so ugly, they detract from the property, so.
Well,
so
I think it's-
So are
It's
we
not
gonna-
like we're losing
as
out.
long as there's,
Are we gonna continue with a permit, or are
Oh, yeah.
are we beyond our, what we're supposed to be doing?
no, because they still gotta meet the setbacks when they put them in, right?
Yeah,
You can't just pop it.
That's
So-
right.
and there's some value to them.
So what
Not
what
much,
is the
but-
cost of that permit? Is that
175 or 150?
150?
150,
In the new bylaws is.
Okay, because I
Charge
charge
them now
them
150, right?
okay,
a metal box, so I didn't process it.
but they're not taxed.
Right. They just, well, it's just to make sure that they're
Well,
meeting
Do
the
it-
setback.
meeting setbacks.
Yeah.
we,
So-
we tax on the basis of the value of the property. So if they don't add any value to the property, then no, they don't get taxed.
Right, didn't you send an email where you said that if they didn't put like,
Siding.
board or siding or anything like that to make it look like more of a nice shed instead of the other one, that they could get it appraised and be
That's
part of the
correct.
taxes?
Yes,
That's
that's
what I just said.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
he was just saying,
Okay.
yeah.
If they fixed it up and made it
Yeah,
look nice.
yeah.
Otherwise, the other one would be no value to the house.
Value.
Just get the permit, so
Right.
you're,
Yeah, you still have to have a permit.
that's right.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
Right, what else do I got? I know you guys said something about the guy out on Charleston Road, on Derby Street that's been building, I mean,
The Canadian guy.
what do you want me to do?
I don't know, the last
I mean, what do you want me to do? It's half, I don't know.
No, I think Joel was saying something about the stuff around to pick up, or that you can get them on something of cleaning up, but it's all probably full of snow now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's construction debris. Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
it's- yeah, I mean, I
Really
would,
nothing?
you could send him a notice of violation on the grounds that he's got household debris out there, and that's what it is. I think he just needs to be prodded. He's not a bad guy. He just needs to be prodded.
Does he
And
have
you could also
ground on-
send him a health notice. Why couldn't you send him a health notice? Because it's the same problem. Kids could run in and out of that building. People could be in and out. Nobody's paying any attention to it. It's the same situation. And by the way, I see there's a broken window on the sister's house there going down Derby Street that's been vacant for years.
Yeah.
Front window, and that was the deciding factor when there's a broken window and there's entry for animals and people, then it's a health issue. Is how we considered it, but that's, if you ask, that's how I would do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can, it's not an issue to send a help. I just sent one last week about the house on Railroad Street, which I have not had any response to, so I'm gonna have to go to the select board. And you all are gonna have to board it up and charge them that way. I mean, what other route do we go with? You know?
That's a house on Railroad.
Yeah, that has all the open windows and stuff. I'm getting no response, but I went the health order route.
Cause I
Well,
think he had
before-
said he was gonna board those up
He
too.
told me he was going to have it all taken care of this summer
Yeah,
He didn't.
and there's nothing. So I went with the health order instead of going with the notice of violation. I
Oh, yeah.
feel like
No,
every
that's
time I
good.
try and do a notice of violation, I get stopped. Like I took a drive down the Meadow the other day and that place isn't cleaned up. So, I mean,
Okay, what about the guys on head of the pond there on the left-hand side that have all the Moors?
yeah, no, he cleaned a lot of that
Yeah, he
up.
did.
He did a really good job.
Is that the one that has the half dome and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
he had a
Yeah.
permit for that. Yep, he's
Okay.
doing he did a good job with that, but the one on Meadow Street or Creamery Street, whatever street it is,
Mm.
Meadow, I drove down there 2 days ago and counted over 10 plus, if not more than that, still cars, plus there's a trailer.
Has he
I
made
mean-
progress?
I don't see what there's anything.
I mean, I guess, I don't know how much. I mean, it seems like there's less, but still, like we extended. Noah and I talked and we extended the date to December 15th due to a family tragedy.
Mhm.
So we extended, and that was, the owner was the one in the meeting that gave the date. It wasn't us. He set that date. And I sent an email to say, due to your family's tragedy, like, it's the last thing you need to worry about,
Right.
but give you another month. And I mean, like I said, I just went down there, drove by and it's
Why don't you stop in and talk to him?
because I'm not. But I just went down, nobody, X was actually at 7 o'clock in the morning and nobody was
No,
there.
no, but
But, so
Um,
I'll send another email tomorrow.
was that a travel trailer?
It's one that would be in the back of
Okay, so was it there before?
it's been there since this whole thing
Okay.
started.
Okay.
It is like one that you would put behind,
You're right, no,
Snowmobile?
no,
Oh,
no,
the
It's
open
a-
one?
no, like a
You hook onto
tractor
your-
trailer,
you hook onto your,
oh, a big tractor trailer.
a big tractor trailer box that's there.
Oh,
Is it registered?
No,
oh,
that's what I'm saying.
If he registers it, he can keep it.
yeah.
So,
All those cars, you could keep them too, but
You
he's
can
not.
keep a school bus on Pleasant Street, you can keep a tractor trailer box if it's registered on
right,
Meadow
Right.
Street.
Right. But,
Yeah.
It's only $6.
yeah.
So Beth,
So-
he's beyond his time for 12/15. You used
Well-
December 15th. It's now
right.
we're past that, and he hasn't given you any reason why.
Well, correct. I have not, that's why I was like, I'm glad I was coming to this meeting, because I was like, I mean, can I finally send the official notice of violation? I just feel every
Well,
time I'm about to send
I
an
think-
NOV, I'm told not to. It's got to go to the lawyers and you got to do this and you got to
No.
do that.
So you were going to send him an email. I think that's a good idea. And if he does not respond to your satisfaction, then it's probably time for an NOV.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta start somewheres with this stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like my hands are tied a lot because it's like, and I totally, and Joel and I talk and Noah and I talk, and I totally understand where it's coming from. Like, if you go to court and you haven't jumped through every hoop and lit the hoop on fire and did a somersault and a cartwheel, they're gonna be told, and then we wasted all this town money. I mean, so I totally understand that, but I also, on my other aspect of reading bylaws, it's like, well, it clearly states in the bylaws. So why do I have to jump through all the hoops where it's written in black and white that says this is what you're going to do.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I don't know. It's a tough one that I'm navigating and still don't understand completely how it all works. And I see Mike and Joel, they're laughing because right?
Oh, I
You-
do.
Everything is with a municipality. It's
I
always,
do.
oh,
Yeah, I just feel like, it's like, oh, but it says it in black and white in our town bylaws. And even then,
Yeah.
so I will send an email out in the morning and if it's, what am I gonna say now? How much more? What do I say now? And more, like,
Haven't heard from you for a while, Brett. What's up?
well, I
past
get,
your-
yeah,
You're past the agreed upon date. I need to hear from you now.
Yeah.
right.
And maybe he'll come up, all right, I'll be done in a month, get it in writing and say, okay, you got
And
to January, blah, 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 and it's gotta be out. And if not, well,
Okay, then
send
the
it with
NOV.
send it with a delivery receipt requested. And you're.
Oh,
if your
yes,
email allows
no.
you. Yeah.
I would, absolutely. Okay,
So if we're talking about this, what are we doing for Richard Fortin? Because it kind of just stopped and we've done nothing. It went to the lawyer, we understand that it was, we wanted to talk to him, to kind of negotiate. And I don't think we've done that, right? We kind of just stopped.
I don't know where that's at. All I know is that we made some requests of him and he
Yeah.
came in and paid $300 to get a permit or something, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So it felt like he tried to comply to some extent, but I don't know where that was left off, actually.
So he actually paid $300 for a
It
permit?
was never cashed. His permits were denied. He didn't
Oh.
meet setbacks.
Oh, okay.
None of those containers met setbacks.
Did he move them? No?
He moved one
Oh.
and one of them has like a roof on it, a lean-to on it. So it was improved upon. As well as he didn't write the right dimensions for this shed he built. He didn't have the right dimensions.
Right.
The new
Right.
garage.
Well, that's what I'm saying, whatever it was,
I'm talking about the big building further down.
right.
he didn't,
Where are we at with that?
he didn't give me the correct dimensions, so I denied the.
And he
permit.
won't let
And
anybody
he
up there.
won't let me on his
Now,
property,
have the-
nor refuses
Have the
all
assessors been
service.
down there to measure
in this-
anything?
In this
That I don't know.
letter that
The-
Joel had
burden of
They
written
will
proof-
be going. They will have to go.
Well, I would imagine the assessors have to go and look at it.
they said to have enforcement go. So does that mean the sheriff go with Beth or?
No. Oh, well, no, yeah, you need to pursue this. That's new information for me. That's, if he's obviously out of compliance and isn't, yeah, and you don't return his $300 either. That we keep that
Well-
whether he got the permit or not.
I don't know what Teresa did. I know the check
Oh,
was
okay.
in the vault. Well, I
Yeah,
don't know
okay.
what happened. The check was in the vault.
But if
'Cause
he's not
he-
out, if he's not in compliance and we've given him, then he needs to be contacted and we need to keep pursuing this. Yeah, I
I've
don't
tried
think
to,
it's-
yeah.
I don't know, you need to point out to him in an official letter what he's lacking and get him to say, you got so many days to comply, and after that, it's gonna be an NOV.
Well, he's refused every service that
Doesn't
Teresa
matter.
has him.
That doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. I've
This
sent,
ish,
Yeah, but you're
Ish-
keeping a trail, paper
issue
trail.
Yeah.
the then issue the NOV now.
okay,
And
I
when you
mean-
send it return receipt requested, and also send a plain copy with just a town envelope, plain envelope, send a copy in that way as well.
Yeah, because.
We're looking at a 40 by 80 foot building that's never got a
Yeah.
permit for
Hey,
that.
We
So the
don't,
lister will, we'll probably see that when he's going around, which,
Won't let the assessors on his property.
well,
They
then
don't-
I guess, then I guess we just guess, or he guesses
they get
what
to
it is.
guess, yeah. They
Nice.
get to make it up.
So guess what? Now it's 100 by 150.
That's right.
and it is built of the
And-
finest of materials.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of all of this was him moving those tractor boxes. So if a car slides off the road, they don't kill themselves in a container box. Like, they're so close to the road, they do not meet the setback requirements. That was the whole start of all of it. Just move them back. And he was like, no,
Is that?
He
sta-
did
is
move
that a
one.
state? Or is that town? That road?
That's state.
So we have
That's one oh
actually.
five beyond the town line, I
sent
think.
him
No,
an
no, it's not
NOV yet,
beyond.
right?
No,
I
sorry.
sent a notice.
Oh, that's right,
Right.
you did.
I
You-
did.
That's
On
right.
the
So
NOV?
there's a one already on record. And does it cover the things that he hasn't done yet? Are they,
Yes.
The new
So-
building?
Well, I don't know about a new building.
Yeah, there's a brand new stick-built garage. It was 16-foot doors,
Oh, well,
40 by 80.
that's not what he put on a permit. He said it was a shed that fell down and he redid that.
No, 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 no. That was a
No.
Quonset hut built out of plastic.
That's why I told him his permit was denied because it wasn't correct.
Yeah.
it's time for the attorney. We need to get the attorney involved at this point.
I mean, and I'll gladly send another notice of violation. I got no problems
No,
with that.
there's one on record already and it covers the things that he hasn't done yet. He's still in violation for those same things. He's been given an opportunity. He was denied by the, and he's not complying. What else can you do? I mean,
I've tried on that
Yeah.
one.
you've tried. So it's
And if he's
time.
not letting you go on the property to try to talk to him,
Or to go look at it
Yeah.
even.
No,
then there's.
he
nothing you
threatened
can-
me.
Right. then-
And I'm not stepping foot on his
No.
property. He said, I'm gonna pay dearly. I have the letter.
Wow.
Every year that goes by, we're losing
So-
tax money.
You need to show up at the select board meeting Wednesday, or unless you want to wait until the one after that to get their okay, because that's, you don't have access to the town treasury. You need to get the select board behind you on this, and I'm sure they will. At least I think they will. I hope they will. And then you can contact the attorney.
Great, now I gotta go Wednesday.
Oh, they're fun.
Yeah, it's fine. I needed to
We'll
go
give
for
you
that house anyways,
Yeah.
on Railroad Street.
Did you find out or talk to person on Pleasant Street of his business?
Yes, and he said, fine, he went and put up on his sign on the.
Oh, so he's not gonna do it at his.
No,
oh,
it's
okay.
like, I'm not gonna, like,
Work
you
inside.
go in there now and his snowmobiles are parked in there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so stupid.
Not, I don't think you'd be working them in the winter, but okay, so he's put the thing in, he's not,
So
Doing-
he's not doing that.
so he
And
can
so, like,
still do
the-
his business at his home? Like we
Well,
was
it's not
doing?
his business. He just does it on the weekends when
Oh,
somebody
I know,
wants. Yeah.
I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm for Jeff
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem.
No, I
live on
don't
the
think,
street.
no, and I told him like, the bigger issue is because he had Jarvis Detailing, Island Pond, Vermont. I said,
Right,
take that off.
okay,
And you're in Perkinsville, that's or wherever he lives.
okay.
Keep it that way. You
He
know,
did ask me if
Yeah.
he could do a home occupation. I'm like, you could, but you don't really need to. You're not running a business.
Yeah.
You're just doing, friends and family, like
Yeah.
friends. I don't know why.
And this weekend he was working at Craig's. I mean, he was working in Craig's garage doing it. It's
Right.
Just not,
Yeah, that's what he could do. That's what we were talking about, going to other people's houses.
yeah,
and
you can do
doing
that.
it.
Well, he's done that at
Yeah.
our house. He's
Yeah.
done it at our house.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
just,
what it is.
and I thought about that. I'm like, so are we gonna make people, I know of some teachers in the summer that mow lawns, have a lawn mowing business, right? So what are we gonna say? That if your lawnmower's parked in your yard, you have to have a home.
Well, that's like somebody that's
what I'm
plowing.
saying, like, or a plow truck,
Right.
like you put Jeans plowing and it's parked in your yard, you're now.
Same thing with my work truck,
Right.
Grandview Electric.
Right,
It's parked at my house, but it's used, I don't do anything at my house.
right.
The truck is used
That's right.
someplace
business.
else.
That's right.
So that doesn't come under anything.
All right.
Well, that's what we're saying.
No
That-
sense in a guy that works for Fred's Home Heating
Right.
to park his work truck in his driveway.
That's
Well,
right.
that's what I was saying to Jeff, like, you're not running a business, you're,
Right.
yeah, so.
So.
I think the
anyway,
whole
so-
issue came up because he had his sign, his thing made for the snowmobile club, and it listed the Island Pond address.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
his
Right, and that's why
business.
he went, he got some duct tape and he,
Right. I mean, that's just it. It's like,
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, well, neighbors.
People would go look,
I'm
people
just
would
gonna
go
say
out
that
and
if-
seek out
I'm-
that business. I guess that I don't even know who was complaining about it, but
Oh,
you
we
know,
don't.
that's the
Well, we
only
don't.
only logic I can come up with was that somebody thought they were going to have like this mass influx of people in their driveway. I don't know.
No, it was
No.
just a neighbor.
We
A
don't.
little dispute between the neighbors.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Fence isn't good
okay.
enough, I guess.
And then that's about it. And then, not that this is planning board, but it is, I mean, a zoning admin thing, but it is the planning board and it is about town development, but there's been a lot of complaints about 109 Railroad Street apartment building with the state of disrepair. And I did speak with David Raymond, because town health officer, and I will talk about this on Wednesday at the select board. The THOs no longer do rental inspections. They go to the Division of Fire and Safety. That happened this summer. So I spoke with David Raymond today, and he is gonna come and do an inspection. And he's hoping to do it while I'm on Christmas break, because he wants me to, I said, I'm gonna need to go to Jeans, get a hazmat suit. But many of the residents, I've had, well, many, but 4 residents in the past week phoned me about the state of disrepair in all those apartments. And then the owners, the homeowners in the back of it, call me frequently about their garbage and being left. Yes. So just to let you know that will be coming down
The bike.
the pike, big time. And the gentleman from the Division of Fire Safety, we had a good chat today about it all. So
What's his first name?
David Raymond. But he seems to have, I think,
Fire
he's
marshal.
gonna have a little bit
I
more.
would say he's not gonna come by himself. The fire marshal's gonna be. with him
Well,
too.
he maybe, but I think it's gonna be easier now that the fire
Somebody else, yeah.
is doing it than THOs. I think they're gonna have a little bit more pull.
Yep.
Than what we did. So I'm like, have fun, buddy.
Mhm.
You know, he's gonna be able to go in there and really maybe finally, after all these years,
Yeah.
trying. So hopefully that we'll get some resolution.
They so God, this was probably 5 years ago. They got called on when Betty Castro Giovanni's house was sitting back there, and they called the state fire marshal on that one. They came in and condemned it and tossed everybody out like
Right.
that.
Well, and that's what that was one of the discussions we had today as well of, you know, the last time I did an inspection there, I had to condemn one of the apartments because it was not safe for human beings at all. No, you don't understand how bad that was. So, and I did talk about one apartment with the hoarding issue, and he was like, that is a huge fire safety.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully in the next, we're gonna try and coordinate it while I'm on break. I'm like, thanks. And we're gonna go in there and see what we can do. But I mean, it is deterring from this town. It really
Yeah.
is. Like, and not only that, I just, the people that live there, they deserve better. And regardless of whatever their situation is, with
Yeah.
such a housing crisis right now, as I was speaking to this one tenant today, they don't have anywhere to go.
Mhm.
They don't want to be there, but there is no place for them to get a rent anywhere.
We had a-
And
we had
it's
a-
sad, you know, and they're trying.
I was involved in a situation, the hoarder was on the 3rd floor. And all you had was a walkway from the front door of the apartment
Yeah.
to the bathroom and to the bedroom. The rest of the house had stacks of newspapers to the ceiling
Oh, geez.
and everything else. They estimated there was 30,000 pounds structurally on that floor, on that ceiling of the apartment down below. The state got involved and shut the whole building down till it was cleaned out.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
We'll see where
Because
that
they were
goes.
afraid it was gonna fall in within itself,
Yeah.
all that weight.
Hmm.
That's what happens.
The only
We
other
might
thing I
think
want to,
about talking to Rural Edge about housing in town. You know, they just announced they're doing this huge development in Newport.
Yeah.
For, yeah,
And I mean, we could use some new housing built somewhere. I mean, we have a lot of really bad rental housing.
aren't it, those apartments subsidized?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how, I don't understand.
I don't
I mean,
understand.
I look at Hillside Acres of Sunrise Manor, they get these,
Inspections all the
and all the
time.
time, even the little.
Melinda's federal. I've talked to Melinda about
Oh,
that.
she's federal.
Melinda is federal. That one is state.
Oh,
So the federal grants and monies
oh,
require the inspections,
oh, but state doesn't.
but the states do not. So that's the big
No, New
why,
New Hampshire does.
right?
State of
Because
New
I asked
Hampshire
Melinda
does.
the same
Yeah.
question. I'm like, how come? She's like, because, you know, she has other apartments at her state and they're not subjected
Oh, okay.
to
All right.
the massive inspections that
Yeah.
she do.
Yeah.
but as a health inspector, once you inspect that apartment and you have all these violations.
Yeah, I went back and there
And-
were fixed,
Oh, okay.
but still, I mean, it's
Oh,
fixed to what,
degree, yeah,
you know?
For how long?
Exactly,
okay.
you know? And if nobody complains, you can't just roll up to somebody's house if nobody's complaining and be
Right, 'cause
like,
they have to
All right.
notify.
Yeah.
them, Right, I get it.
so hopefully now that it's with the Division of Fire Safety, there'll be a little bit more push.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yes.
new rules and regulations
Yeah.
coming out.
And as most of us THO say, well, I don't know about sewer, like, I don't know about, like, that's not something that it's deterred so much from doing health.
You're right.
Like, I don't know of a septic, I could go to septic school.
Is there
I
some-
went to lab tech school. I know what a bed bug looks
Yeah.
like under a microscope, but I certainly don't know how far a septic pipe has to be. Anyways.
All right.
It's been that way for years.
Yeah.
One other thing I
Anyhow.
wanted to mention was that I was supposed to ask Andy whether the school bus area there had that culvert needed a permit or whether
Now,
Yeah.
no.
I looked into that.
No, I asked Andy.
Andy went over there, he told me.
Yeah.
He said that they didn't touch the culvert that was involved in the driveway. The culvert they touched was a culvert they pulled out of the ground that took care of some brook water that came to the ditch. They took it, turned it upside down, cleaned it out because it was plugged. And cleaned it and put it right back in and covered it over. He said he did a favor for the town, basically what he did there.
Yeah, that's what Andy
So-
told me.
Yeah.
So there's no problems.
No, I know, I talked to him.
Mhm.
He said the same thing, and I'm glad. He was very glad that he did that himself. He wished more people did.
That's always nice.
Yeah, because that was plug solid.
Yeah, it was a mess, I'm sure. Okay, so anything else? Did we do other business?
Well, I think we.
I think we've covered everything.
We've talked.
Okay, so approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Everybody read that?
Yep.
I
I'll
have
make a
read it.
motion to approve the minutes of December 2nd.
Second,
I'll approve.
aye.
Aye.
I,
And, we're all done.
I'll make I'll
Make,
make a motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Thank you.
Bye.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night, all.
Yep.
So Jean, for Wednesday, do I need to be on the agenda?
No, you can just go into public comment, probably, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
you should be fine with that.
For, you want it on the agenda or on just public comment?
Public comment should be fine.
Yeah, okay.
It's already, I mean, it would be in addition to, you can put it as